I invite you into mountain pose. In one breath, into your heart. On the next inhale, open back, close, with hands on top of your head, lifting onto your tiptoes and resting in divine pose. Exhale, arms behind your neck in sleepwalker, perhaps. Do the jaw lock and then lean back once again, breathing through the throat. Drop the arms to your side, forward in Buddha belly. Reach back, iron out any tension in your legs, and then return to Buddha belly. Head gently back. Feeling the circle around your hips for the sacral chakra. Exhale your way down to ragdoll, leaning above the knees. Releasing the lower back for the nose tip chakra. Head lets go. Inhale your way up into chair pose, feeling from the solar plexus. Exhale your way down in a folding chair. Find your lower limit. Inhale your way back up when you are ready. Take a breath here. Inhale, straightening up. Hands overhead, pull in the lower belly, forward bend for the diamond eye. Relax. Lift up, fold forward once again. Get yourself a little deeper as you draw in the abdomen. Take a breath with your shoulders and head letting go. Step your feet a little broader than your hips. Rise up into centaur pose, slightly bent knees, hands open, rotating the shoulders out, breathing into the lungs. Shrug your shoulders up towards the ears, back and down, several times, inhaling up, exhaling down, cleansing through the lungs. Breathe here. We are warming up for the advanced empowering flower. This will be valuable whether or not you can engage all the exercises to learn how to engage a challenge. Exhale and jump your way into a low goddess pose. Inhale, come up a little. Exhale, sink down even lower. Breathe here into the root chakra. Feeling your foundation rotating the knees out. If you so choose, do a low goddess squat, finding your absolute limit. And then bend down between your legs into ape pose, knuckles to the ground. And then inhale, rising up. Do it again. Exhale down, inhale, arms overhead. Your pace. This practice will challenge you to the limits of your endurance. If it doesn't, make it harder. If it's too hard to do 5 repetitions of any exercise, find an easier version. Exhale your way down. Inhale up into star pose. Straight legs, straight arms into your core for the navel chakra. Breath of fire here, focusing your power. Draw presence into your navel, bend down, wide angle forward bend, hands to the ground, lean, wrapping your arms around each other, swaying side to side, centering in your core. Hands to the ground, legs together for a low squat. You're on the balls of your feet if you can. You're on your heels if you feel the challenge of it. Breathe while you stare at the ground and center for the rest of this practice. This is the end of the warm-up. I invite you into a low child's pose. Big toes touch, knees open. we are going to do bent-legged back bends. So you're going to recline with your knees bent. If you can't do this, you're going to simply lift from child's pose into camel. If you have not done that exercise, you might not want to try this at all. So you're inhaling your way up into camel just to warm up. Hands on your lower back. Breathe here, then exhale your way back down into child's. Then lean all the way back. So you're reclined, your knees are bent. You inhale, you come up all the way to camel. You're going to support yourself with your fingers or hands as much as you need to. The goal is for your legs to do almost all the work. You're inhaling all the way up into camel. Exhale, your butt's going down, and then you're rolling back, lying all the way back on the ground. If you can't do that at all, don't try this exercise. You're finding a rhythm that's good for you. Your breath leads you. My goal is to do this without any use of my arms, but I can't do that yet. So I give myself exactly as little support as I need to do it fluidly and still enjoy it. Each time down, I feel a little more open as I bring warmth and heat. Each time up, it's actually getting a bit easier. So though it's tiring, my body is getting used to it. You're doing your own rhythm and resisting the urge to copy me. Your greatest power will come from tuning into your own awareness more subtly, to be present with your own rhythms and find your absolute limits. The general rule is that if you can't even do 5 of an exercise, don't do it in this routine. The goal is to get between 8 and 12. And when you're done, be done. Rest and take several breaths. Inhale your way up. Now we're going to do core work from a headstand. Do not try this if you're not comfortable with headstands. So you're grounding in rabbit, strength from your shoulders through your arms. You're lifting and bringing your abdomen and hips over your head and then coming up into a headstand. You're drawing your abdomen in and lowering your legs and feet almost to the ground. Your toes almost touch. And there's a lot of coordination to this. You're inhaling your way up, exhaling your way down. I encourage you to focus on getting those toes within an inch of the ground. To do this in a way that's still good for you, you have to have a lot of strength through your shoulders, and most of the work comes from the core. You're following your breath rhythm and resisting the urge to force it in any way that's going to hurt your neck. Just pause in the headstand if you ever feel that. Regather your center and ask if you can do another in a way that's still healthy for you. And again, you're doing somewhere around 8 before you come down. Rest in rabbit pose. The preparation pose for this sequence, rabbit pose, is also the resting pose. Now we're going to shift to the throat and bring you into a plank, a forearm plank. Tuck in that tail to create a straighter line from the heels to your shoulders. And then you're going to inhale, bring your pelvis down in low cobra. Exhale, come up into dolphin. Give yourself a breath. Inhale, down into low cobra. One of the advantages of all this repetition is that you are not perfecting each pose, but you are attempting to go deeper every time you return to a pose. So prioritize fluidity as you breathe in between and claim a deeper alignment each time in. Each time make it easier. Your forearms are planted parallel to each other. Your heels are working their way towards the ground. You're wrapping your shoulders. The strength coming from behind your heart, down through your arms. And with all of these exercises, you are following your pace. Don't try to emulate me. Find the rhythm that carries strength through you, and do as few or as many as keeps you within this centered awareness. And put some attention on extending the lower abdomen and lower spine, creating more space to go deeper before coming all the way down and rolling over on your back. Reclined with your feet flat. Inhale into a bridge. This is the sacral chakra. And we're going to be doing lifted wheels. So you inhale, you turn your fingertips down, all the way up. Press into a gentle wheel. Exhale your way down, release the hands. You're going to the first natural limit. So you are not perfecting this pose. You are building the fluidity and the strength to do it naturally. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Place your upper back, roll your lower back. Inhale up, exhale down, curl the neck. Inhale up, exhale down. Find your limits, find your pace. Begin to see if you can bring it a little higher, but within the fluid motion of an exercise. So you don't shift gears to perfect the pose. You build heat from within and allow the pose to pull you towards it. And once again, you're aiming to do around 8. 10 is wonderful. If you get past 13, it's too easy. Rest when you need to in the gentle pose, the foundation pose for the grounding flower in this chakra. If you so choose, you can do gentle twist side to side, the balancing pose for the sacral chakra. Just open up those hips and lower back. Breathing through any tension you've gathered before bringing yourself back to Shavasana, corpse pose for the nose tip. Here we're going to do jackknives. So you're going to plant your fingertips and inhale your way into an easy plow. So you're not perfecting it. And then you're exhaling all the way over into the plow. Inhaling, coming up into a gentle low boat. Exhaling, feet over your head. Back and forth. Find the fluid rhythm. Keep your neck from engaging. This is all from the core. The back of your lower skull should really connect when you roll back into the plow and feel there, releasing tension through the neck and shoulders. And then avoid the urge to strain with the neck, keeping your head a little back and maintaining a good level of balance and control as you go forward into the boat. Plow, boat, plow, boat. Hold the plow at the end if you feel so inclined, breathing the bellows breath deep in the intensity of a tight pose in the plow, unwinding that spine. And inhale your way up into a shoulder stand if you so choose. before rolling your way down back into Savasana. Take a breath here. Relax. We are halfway through this practice. Give yourself some extra space to release tension into the floor and gather focus for the rest of our time. Recognize where you feel most exhausted and breathe strength into these spaces. And if you don't feel tired, consider ways you can challenge yourself more over the course of these first exercises. Draw your knees into your chest. Another set for the abdominals. Boats. So we were working with high boats, now low boats. You're inhaling up into the boat, exhaling down, hugging the knees. Allow the neck to be an extension of the spine, resisting the urge to crane forward. Feel fluidity as all the movement comes from your core, and even in the upper abdominals and the solar plexus. Inhaling into the boat, feel the balance. Rest in it briefly and allow the lungs to exhale you back down. By empowering your core now, you build strength to complete the rest of the practice. Find your edge. With ab exercises, I do tend towards 20 repetitions. Once 20 gets easy enough, I find ways to make the exercises more difficult, either following them more quickly in sequence with another set or moving on towards a deeper challenge. Give yourself rest whenever you need to, and then pull yourself into a boat and stay, breathing here before coming all the way up and shifting into a staff pose. We're moving on to the diamond eye. Inhaling up, exhaling down in a forward bend. You're going to really iron your way out here. In the middle of the practice, we're giving ourselves a little bit of rest. And in this rest, you are bringing yourself into a deeper awareness of your body. Allow each breath to bring prana deeper into your bones and your blood, feeling the muscles and allowing them to let go a little more deeply. Keeping your awareness on the lower back and the lower abdominals. Create length there and through the hips. This is not a stretch for your upper chest or your arms or even your legs. Not much. Leaning back, leg loose. So you're planting your hands in front of your hips. And exhaling up, inhaling down. We're doing the exhale up because you're compressing. And inhaling, bring your legs back down. Barely touching the heels, so keeping the muscles engaged. Exhale up, inhale down. Very little effort from the hands. Should do around 10 before returning to staff pose. Breathe. Lift through the shoulders. Focus. And again, if you need more to be tired, do more. Moving on to the lungs. Tables. Folding table. So you're going up into table, back down, and you're keeping your butt off the ground ideally. Really lifting from the base of the palm up through your shoulder. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And use that extra effort to keep your butt off the ground, barely brushing your pants against the floor. And you're going all the way back too, so you would be able to sit down straight. That's a complete pose. Inhale up, exhale down. If you need a greater challenge, begin lifting one arm and reaching over your back. Keep your coordination and allow the shift from side to side to make this more difficult. I don't know a better way to make this exercise more difficult. In general, we're sticking with empowering poses here that are balanced, symmetrical, but for this one, I really like adding the overarm stretch to just bring it that much deeper into the shoulders on each side. I did 3 on each side. Commit to doing as many as you are ready to do that take you to your edge. Come through a final table, back down to staff pose, recenter. We keep returning to the basic pose for each chakra to check in and recognize your improvement. Root. I'm going to do a tougher exercise here, almost too tough for me to be able to do in a series. So I can barely do 5 of these. I encourage you to give it a shot, find out where you are. I'm on the pads of my fingers, not quite my fingertips. I'm leaning down, head to the ground, and then lifting my legs up, and then I'm holding myself off the ground for a moment. The goal is to be able to breathe here on my fingertips. I have, in the past, been able to maintain this for a while. So I'm building my strength back to this point by doing exactly what I'm capable of right now. It takes a lot of coordination and strength. Exhaling, head down, inhaling, lifting up, holding, and returning to the ground. I'm losing steam already in this, and I'm giving myself permission to stop after 5. I really want to build the strength to return this pose to my regular routine, so I'm going to keep engaging this challenge even though it's barely within my range right now. Consider what exercises are similar for you. The deep butterfly, so I'm lifting my butt off the ground, so my weight pushes my hips open even further, breathing while resting a little bit on my forearms before returning to a butterfly, checking in, feeling the difference all this work is made within my body. I invite you to do the same in butterfly pose. We build aerobic heat and intensity. We tire ourselves out. Stillness means something entirely different. Deep rest. Come to all fours. I am going to be doing low push-ups. The goal here is to do push-ups just on my arms. So my hands are back. And I'm resting as little weight on my toes as I can. It's hard to tell, but you can definitely feel it. So you're bringing your palms down level with your navel. Ideally, your whole hand is with your navel. And then when you come down, your weight is almost able to balance. I invite you to do at least 8, if not 10, of the lowest push-ups you can. And notice that by bringing those push-ups lower with the hands down towards the abdominals, they get a lot harder. I'm going back up into wildcat on the balls of the feet and then lifting one leg and crossing it under, just giving myself a real good hip opener. This makes me feel alive, channel some of that intensity from the last series before returning to tabletop, taking a breath in child's pose. You should be tiring yourself. If you're not, Make it harder next time around. I invite you, come back up all fours, drop the head in some cat-cows, lift the head, cow, drop it, bend through the back. Just iron out your spine. Recognize the openness you've created. Rest. You want to tire yourself out in challenges to rest. Navel. Moving from the chin to the navel. Frog kicks. Goal here is simply to shift your weight onto your arms. Lift those legs up in the air and sort of kick out to the side a little. You're supposed to feel alive, and largely you're just experiencing shifting the weight down through the arms and shoulders. This is building strength to eventually do handstand push-ups. I'm lucky if I can do 1 or 3 bad ones at the moment, so it's not within my range to do that as part of the routine. I can do it on the wall, and sometimes I do. But frog kicks are building the same strength, and I encourage you to learn to love them. Once you're done, 5 or 10, wherever you're at, stop before you're falling apart. Add some up dog, down dog, the level 2 pose exercise sequence for the empowering flower. It's a nice way to iron all this work out, calm it down, bring yourself towards the completion of this practice. I am tired at this point. I'm not pausing enough in the up dog or bringing my chest forward enough. I encourage you to bring your chest forward and find that distance between the arms and the feet where you can rest. Coming back through puppy pose into a low squat. Final sequence for the third eye. Lift and crow. So you're exhaling, lifting up, taking a breath, lifting those feet off the ground. Inhale, come back down and open, lift up a little with the chest. Exhale, you're coming up enough just to lift the toes. I know, you can stay longer. Don't. You're practicing the fluidity of going back and forth and guiding this transition with your breath. So you want to feel very natural. You're exhaling forward, inhaling, lifting the feet, exhaling them back down to the ground, taking a breath, inhaling up. If you want to do 1 breath in and out, or you can do half a breath. Exhaling up, inhaling down, lift the chest, exhaling, come up, lift the feet. Find a rhythm that works well for you. Before returning to a low squat and even challenging yourself to bring those heels back down. Just be. Be in the open, warm rest that you've created for yourself. Before coming forward and down into child's pose once again. Bringing the big toes together, knees open, lower abdomen in, lengthening the lower back, and allowing the head and shoulders to surrender. Allow your breath to take over. Move into any remaining tensions. And tell your body that you're done. This is the final pose before Savasana. Tune in, ask if there's anything else you may need. And now is the time to give it to yourself. Before rolling over and lying on your back. Open the heels a little broader than the hips. Let the feet rotate slightly out to the side. Open the shoulders, palms up, arms out. Breathe. You soothe your tensions with internal awareness and breath, and surrender all remaining stuck energies down into the earth.